I was in the war, Ginny. Did I ever tell you that I was in the war? Did I, Ginny? I hold medals, too. Not for being brave, because I don't lie, but just because I was there.
Something else. Are you married?
Hey, look!
Lee? Lee? You married? Hey, ever been to the bullfight, Sonny? Hey, now, Dora, hey, hooray! Ole.
Listen, Ginny,
Look, if you do go to the bullfight, get smashed first. You know, drink a lot. Then maybe you can stand it.
Yeah. Listen, Ginny, I got to leave for a few minutes. You could walk around here. You know, wander around in this area for 5, maybe 10 minutes. And listen, Ginny, you be alone when I come back.
Okay.
Trella, 1647 Ruxton Avenue, Los Angeles. In case of accident, notify Marie Trella, relationship, address as above. Notify R&I, see if they have a package on this man.
Yes, sir.
Feel better now?
Poor guy.
Feel up to talking about it, Miss Matthews?
Sure. Okay.
Did you know him well? How long did you know him?
I'm a pickup, you know?
When did you meet him?
I work in a fish and chips place. He came in. We talked. He picked me up. I promised to meet him after quitting time. We walked along the beach. He excused himself and said he'd be back in a few minutes. I said, okay. Then I went to look for him. I found him.
That's all? Didn't he talk about himself at all?
I'm not a very good listener. He was making a pitch. Who listens, you know. Anyway, I wasn't going to give him a hard time.
When he left you, did he tell you where he was going?
No.
All right, Miss Matthews, we'll have a car taken.
No, thank you, mister. I think I'd rather walk. I only live 3 blocks from here.
Tall, a very tall man.
Well, most grown-ups are tall, aren't they?
Midgets?
Jimmy saw a tall man running.
If you don't believe me, why don't you ask her? She saw him, I bet she saw him. She sees everything.
Who sees everything, Jimmy?
Her.
Which one?
Her, the watcher, the lady on the top floor.
The watcher?
Mrs. Forbes. She sits there all day and practically all night. She's got spy glasses. She watches.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Come in.
Miss Forbes?
Yes, come in.
Police officers.
Come see how lovely it is. Lovely and exciting, isn't it?
This is Sergeant Kirby. I'm Sergeant Anderson.
My own private world. Look.
Yeah, something.
What do you see, Sergeant? What are you looking at?
Looking at that bench down there.
I'd rather look at the lights. Look at the way they sparkle in the water. And the faces. From here, I can count 1,000 smiles.
Mrs. Forbes, you seem to be alone here. You always leave your door unlocked?
Of course. Who'd want to hurt me? Anyway, I've been expecting you.
Expecting us?
And besides, I'm not really alone.
Why were you expecting us, Mrs. Forbes?
Oh, I saw the police cars and the ambulance and the crowds of people. They told you about me, didn't they? Me and my spy glasses.
Yes?
Who told you?
A little boy.
I think I know that little boy.
Mrs. Forbes, a man was murdered tonight. Near that bench down there. You see it?
Oh, nothing like that.
Did you see anything or anyone around that bench? Anything strange or out of the ordinary?
Oh, but it's all out of the ordinary, isn't it? Lovely and full of laughter.
Hi, honey. Company?
Police officers, dear. Sergeant Anderson, Sergeant Kirby.
Hi.
Hello.
This is the man I live with. My husband.
I heard the sirens when I was in the delicatessen. What happened out there?
Well, a man was murdered about an hour ago, Mr. Forbes. We thought your wife might have seen it.
Jeannie?
Nope, didn't see it. I'm glad I didn't. Somebody hurt, dying. It's ugly. Doesn't belong in my world.
Are you sure, honey? I mean, if you can help these...
Yes, I'm sure.
Well, I guess that's that.
Sorry we disturbed you.
Oh, I'm glad you did. Made my day less lonely.
Well, good night.
Well, what about you, Mr. Forbes? Do you happen to notice anything that might help us?
In the delicatessen? Hardly. Good night. Jean. Jeannie.
Nick, she could have seen it.
She didn't.
She's glad she did. Isn't that the way she put it?
Strange lady. Lovely lady. World and a language all her own. Do you notice the empty crib?
Sergeant Anderson. Just heard from R&I. Not a thing on Lee Trella.
Great. No leads, no witnesses. You'd better check the residence around here. Take Radovich with you.
Yes, sir.
Dan. Lee Trella had a wife. Why don't we start with her?
Right. This is a watchbird watching you.
Rare and beautiful watchbird. Sees only what she wants to see.
I did it. When they told me, I took the picture and I threw it clear across the room.
May we borrow that photograph, Mrs. Trella?
Keep it. I got enough lousy memories.
Do you and your husband have many disagreements, Mrs. Trella?
How could we? He was never here. He used to be. He used to be a good husband. He used to come home. He'd come home every night. He'd stay home. He'd fall asleep right there and watching television. Maybe I should have left him there. Maybe I should have left him alone. Maybe that was all he ever really wanted.
Did he have any enemies that you knew of?
Yeah. Me. I nagged at him. I nagged at him about his job. I got sore when he fell asleep there in front of the television. I picked at him when I thought that he was stupid. Well, if he wasn't so stupid, he wouldn't be dead, would he?
I know this is painful for you, Mrs. Trella, but we have to ask these questions.
Go ahead.
Do you know where Mr. Trella went on his nights out?
A man like that? With a wife who picks and nags? Now, where do you think he'd go? He'd find himself somebody who doesn't pick and nag, right?
Was there any particular one?
Who knows? Sometimes the lipstick was red. Sometimes it was orange. It didn't used to be all the time. Just once in a while. But lately, like the past month or so, he was gone almost every night.
That's an expensive hobby, Mrs. Trella. Did he make that much money?
110 a week plus commission.
Did you see any of it?
Sure I did. He paid the rent, he paid our bills, all that. That goes, you know.
Did he have any outside income of any kind?
Oh, look at this place. Do I look like outside income? I don't know where he gets his extra money. I don't know. He doesn't tell me. I'm only his wife. I was his wife. Would you believe it? All I ever wanted from him was that he should notice me just once in a while. I swear, it's all I ever wanted. Why couldn't he do that? Why couldn't he?
Yeah, the Al Jack Novelty Company. It's a Los Angeles outfit. They manufacture, well, novelties, I guess. One of them's a cheap hunting knife. No, I don't want to place an order. I just want to know where they distribute their products.
Lab report. Blood on the knife matches the victim's, and the knife itself matches the stab wound.
Mm-hmm. No prints on the knife. Did they raise any at the murder site?
No.
So they've got a weapon they found in the sand near the murder site. No witness, no suspect, no motive. You know, I'll bet they sell 1,000 knives like that every month.
1,500, Lieutenant. Most of them are distributed to outlets in other cities. Locally, they're sold at amusement parks, novelty shops, and a few souvenir stands along the beachfront.
All right, just one more, pal. One more game, and you're a real champ. All right.
All right, now what it's going to be? What's going to be, champ? Anything on the top rack? JD, pick one for me.
Decisions. You won so many of these silly things. How about that panda bear up there?
Panda bear it is, ma'am. Here we are.
Won't he look perfectly delightful in the crib, darling?
In your arms, a panda never had it so good.
Thank you. Look, Robert, isn't he sweet?
All right, now, come on, champ. That's 3 games. What about a fourth?
No, no more.
All right, now, who's going to be next? 3 balls. 3 balls for a quarter.
I know what you're thinking, but how many guys do you figure if one dies exactly like that?
How many guys live so near the murder site? How many guys have a wife? Watches every move we make.
Not a boy, pal. 3 balls for a quarter. Take home a doll for your baby. A ring for your keys, a knife to cut the mustard.
Jeannie, I thought you wanted to come here. We can go someplace else.
I like it. Oh, Robert, look. Sergeant, over here.
Nice to see you, Mrs. Forbes. Mr. Forbes?
You a member of the family, Mrs. Forbes?
Yes. Robert won him for me. I love it when Robert's home from work. He takes me out, and then I feel like an actress.
on my own private stage.
Hot dog, gentlemen?
No, thank you.
Yes, thanks.
Do you work in this area, Mr. Forbes?
A&S Research Development. I'm an engineer.
And I'm an actress. Just think. At one of those windows, at this very minute, somebody is watching me. Us. That makes us dream people, doesn't it? Is that why you policemen are here? To watch Robert and me?
That bother you?
I'd love it. I was watching you this morning. You were playing in the sand with some silly-looking machine.
The neighbors thought you might be looking for the murder weapon.
Why, is it missing?
Jeannie, I really ought to take you home.
Robert is more sensitive about the roller coaster than I am. Do you enjoy the roller coaster, Sergeant Anderson?
Once in a while.
I hate it. I've always hated it. Robert insisted that... Oh, I'm sorry, darling. That sounded horrible. I didn't mean he...
As you probably gathered, gentlemen, Jeannie's accident happened on a roller coaster. Like this one.
Robert punishes himself always. Constantly punishing himself, but that isn't right. That's wrong. I was really to blame.
You don't have to talk about it, Mrs. Forbes.
I was 4 months pregnant. Scared. I really shouldn't have gone with him, but... Robert kept teasing me in front of his friends. I was terrified. Sick. And then all of a sudden I stood up or fell. Or something. It doesn't scare me anymore. It can't hurt me or the baby anymore. Isn't that so, Robert? It didn't hurt the baby, did it, Robert?
Someone once said that civilized man has 3 natural enemies. His wife, his boss, and himself. And I'm beginning to believe it.
The large one is a comet goldfish. We call him Huxley. Here we have betas, Siamese fighting fish to the layman. Hardy, healthy, divinely beautiful, graceful as music,
Simon.
easy to care for, fascinating habits. Simply remove the glass partitions and they'll tear each other to shreds.
We're police officers. We'd like some information about Lee Treller.
Well, now, he should have been at work over 3 hours ago. I really don't know what's gotten into him. Did you say police?
Mr. Treller's been murdered.
Murdered? Lee? Oh, my. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my. Oh, my. Forgive me, gentlemen, but violence of any sort, even the thought of it, nauseates me.
Can you tell us anything about him? His behavior, his friends?
Well, I think of people as fish, Sergeant. We have the Platties, inherently playful and sociable, and we have the betas, naturally hostile creatures.
And Treller?
And we have the angelfish, lethargic, passive, very few friends, but no enemies.
But somebody killed him.
Ah, the paradox. About 5 or 6 weeks ago, the angelfish began acting like a Platty. Why, he even came to work drunk.
Any reason?
Who knows? And ever since, he's been extremely cavalier about his job. Lately, he's been downright belligerent. So, metamorphosis. From angelfish to Platty, to Beta.
Did you discuss it with him?
Oh, I tried to. But you know how fish are. They simply won't listen.
Did he ever mention a man named Robert Forbes?
Forbes? No. No, I don't recall the name.
He's an engineer at A&S Research and Development. Maybe he's a customer of yours, or...
Oh, no. He's no customer of ours. As for knowing engineers, I don't think that Oh, dear. Pardon me, sergeants, but my guppies are eating their young.
No, he doesn't look familiar at all. Who is he?
Name is Lee Trilla.
We thought he might be an acquaintance of Mr. Forbes.
Hey, Forbes isn't in any trouble, is he, Sergeant?
It's just routine, Mr. Kearney.
Good. Got a lot of faith in Bob Forbes. He's smart, quick, eager. A little too eager sometimes. I just hope we can keep him on the A&S team, Capri.
Why, is he thinking of leaving?
Well, this is a highly competitive business, Sergeant. Good men are in constant demand. Hey, let me show you something. A couple of weeks ago, every workstation in that room was full. Peak operation. Now, overnight, empty seats. Just like that. Capri?
No, Compre.
I lost a $5 million contract. Had to cut to the bone.
What kind of product do you make?
Microelectronic wafers. They used in hearing aids, transistor radios, missile guidance systems. I had a fast, cheap way of making them. Forbes helped develop that process. Now, that was top secret, exclusive, and surefire. Nobody, I repeat, nobody could underbid me unless...
Unless they had the same process.
Correct. And Randolph Components underbid me by $5,000. How do you like those apples?
How do you account for it?
Let's call it coincidence.
Or industrial espionage.
I'll have to admit that thought has occurred to me.
And to your competitors.
No, I can't very well speak for my competitors, can I, Sergeant?
Try.
All right, let's start with Randolph Components. Now, top man there for years has been Phil Page. Now, he's tough and he's shrewd, but I'll say this for Page. He's fair, always fair.
That's why the 12th annual marlin fishing tournament was the last one ever held.
Page,
Yes?
may we see you for a moment?
Will you excuse us, please? I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
I'm Sergeant Anderson, police. This is Sergeant Kirby.
Is there something else?
Yes, there is. We'd like to talk to you about Robert Forbes.
Robert
Forbes.
Forbes. Forbes. Oh, yes. I tried to hire him on 2 or 3 occasions. The right man for the right job at the right time. That's the Phil Page formula. Murray, would you join us for a moment, please?
Your lawyer?
Yes, Murray's been my attorney for years, knows all about company policies. You know, couldn't budge Forbes away from A&S. He's a man with intense loyalty.
Oh.
Murray, these fellows are from the police. They want to know about Robert Forbes. You remember him?
Yes.
I understand he helped develop a revolutionary new process for A&S.
Yes, so I've heard.
And your company has a similar process.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we have. Just bagged a juicy $5 million contract with it. That's the reason for this celebration.
Mr. Page, did Forbes contribute in any way to the Randolph process?
Contribute? How could an A&S employee contribute? Oh, I see. The old cloak and dagger routine, eh? You think that perhaps Forbes has been spying for us, is that it?
Possible.
Careful, Sergeant. You're flirting with a slander charge.
Might have been done without your knowledge, Mr. Page. One of your department heads, maybe?
I'd be very happy to let you examine our company books.
We'd like to.
Of course, if you failed to find what you were looking for, you'd find yourselves vulnerable to all kinds of legal action. Right, Murray?
Libel, slander, defamation of character.
Oh, by Jasper, laddies. I'm sure that you and I have a lot more important things to do than getting involved in unnecessary lawsuits. Now, let's forget all this nonsense and get down to more interesting things. How about it, lads? Vodka? Scotch? Redhead?
No, thank you, Mr. Page. Policy, you know.
I think we better make that call.
Congratulations, Mr. Forbes. You've just been awarded an all-expense trip to Mexico City.
What? Who is this?
The airplane ticket's in your name at the airport. Tropican Airlines. The sooner you pick it up, the better.
Is this some kind of a joke?
It's no joke, Mr. Forbes. You've earned the vacation. And with the weather getting so warm here, we know you'll enjoy the change of climate. Happy landings.
Faces, faces, faces. Sitting, standing, running and playing. They're like old friends to me. And I don't even know their names.
You know that face, Mrs. Forbes?
Sometimes he's a walking face. One of my dream people. He used to walk by every night. He'd sit on one of those benches out there and smile at all the girls as they passed by. Sometimes a girl would come along and smile back. And then they'd walk off together.
Does your husband know him?
Well, they make bets sometimes at the pitchet stand. My Robert always beats him. When it comes to money, my husband has to win.
Mrs. Forbes, that's Lee Trella, the man who was murdered the other night.
No, it can't be.
Why do you say that?
Well, it just can't be, that's all. Why do you show me this picture? Why do you tell me these things?
We think your husband might have killed him, Mrs. Forbes.
I think you better go. I don't want you here. You have no right to be here.
Mrs. Forbes, we just left your bank. About 2 months ago, your husband rented a safe deposit box. Did you know that?
And at this moment, that box contains $12,000 in cash. Are you aware of that?
Can you tell us where he got it?
My husband works for his money. He works very hard.
The bank keeps a record of every visit to the vault. Your husband has been there every Friday for the last 6 weeks. Can you tell us why?
I don't have to tell you anything.
Lee Trella was murdered on a Friday.
According to his wife and his employer, he began acting strangely about 6 weeks ago. Spending money he never had before.
You think Robert gave him the money? Well, you're wrong. My husband doesn't give money away. Money is too important to him.
So important that he'd kill if he were being blackmailed?
Why would anyone want to blackmail Robert?
What happens to a man who sells company secrets to a rival firm? He can't go to prison, but he can lose his job, his reputation, his entire future in the industry.
If he did anything like that, he did it for me.
Did he do it for you, Mrs. Forbes?
Terrible man. Blackmailer. Bleeding us dry. Taking every penny we've worked so hard.
All right, Mrs. Forbes, why don't you tell us about it? The truth.
There is no truth in my world, don't you know that? It's all a lovely dream. A fantasy. You let the truth in and it becomes ugly, full of pain, death, loneliness. I have no time for truth.
Mrs. Forbes.
What are you going to do, Sergeant? Take him away from me? Punish him for loving me and caring for me?
Nick. It's Forbes. He's running.
Oh, no, please.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Forbes. Believe me, I'm sorry.
Mrs. Forbes?
Yes.
I'm Janet Okada.
How do you do?
Would you wait right here, please?
Now, a lawyer's not a substitute for warm milk and lullabies. He's there to act as a stimulant, keep the court. Here's my lighter. Oh, thanks, Janet.
Your 10:30 appointment is here.
I'll get back to my office.
A lawyer is obligated.
You won't want to keep her waiting.
Oh, like that, huh?
Like that.
I'll stay.
Sure, in.
We can go in now. Mr. Egan, this is Mrs. Forbes.
Mrs. Robert Forbes.
Come in, Mrs. Forbes. This is my associate, Mr. Harris.
How do you do, Mr. Harris?
If you'll excuse me, Mrs. Forbes.
Of course. Oh, and Miss Okada. Thank you. She's lovely.
Very.
I've heard about you, Mr. Egan. I've read about you, too. And now I have the audacity to ask your help.
It's how I earn my bread and wine.
I'm asking you to defend my husband.
Against what?
Murder. He killed... They say he killed a man named Lee Trella.
Why did he kill him?
Isn't it beautiful? And strange. Even stranger than my world.
Mrs. Forbes?
I'm a watcher, Mr. Egan. I live near the beach. And I sit by my window with my spy glasses. And I make up fantasies.
Mrs. Forbes, you've told me what the police think about the murder, but you still haven't told me why.
Why?
Why did your husband kill Lee Trella?
They say he killed because he was being blackmailed.
And?
My husband was taking secrets from the company he worked for and selling them to another company. Someone found out about it. Someone vicious and cruel.
Lee Trella.
There were letters. Every Friday morning, another letter. Place $250 in plain paper bag at 8 p.m. Place paper bag in the sand under second bench opposite your building.
Do you have those letters?
No.
The police?
No, they're gone. Robert and I thought it best if they were destroyed.
No. They could have been used against the blackmailer.
Oh, we were frightened. They could have destroyed Robert. His job, his career, everything he's worked so hard to attain. Mr. Egan, I know your fee is high, but we have money. Robert's money. The money he worked so hard accumulating. At least it can be used to good purpose now.
Tell me, Mrs. Forbes, how did Lee Trella find out that your husband was selling company secrets?
I don't know.
Were they well acquainted?
No, not really. I don't think Robert even knew his name.
And you?
He was just a face. One of my dream people. Walking along the beach at night. Smiling. Especially at the pretty girls. He had a favorite bench. The one I could see from my window. He'd sit there until the right girl came along.
But you didn't know him by name.
None of my dream people have names, Mr. Egan. That would make them too real. My husband loves me very much, Mr. Egan. What he did because he had to, for me. And now they're punishing him for it.
Mrs. Forbes.
My husband belongs with me, Mr. Egan. Where I belong. Not alone, imprisoned, helpless. I know that feeling, Mr. Egan. I know it too well. What they're doing to him isn't fair.
I'll do everything I can for him.
He confessed to the murder. Robert confessed. How can you help him? How can anyone help him now?
Mrs. Forbes, as I said before, how is the way I earn my bread and wine.
Strange. Exciting. Like a fantasy. Isn't it?
Right, Robbie, 2:30. With scrambled eggs should be lox.
How do you spell it, Jake? As in L-O-C-K-S?
As in smoked salmon. As in bagels. Him, Father O'Malley, trying to tell me he didn't get a center cut.
He's putting you on, Jake. He does it every Friday.
Father, how are the lox and bagels?
Delicious. See? Which is the lox and which is the bagel?
You think a man with his contacts would have better material.
Gentlemen.
Hello, Jerry.
The counselor?
How's the lox, Jake?
Got to take left of center or right of center.
Oh, no. We try so hard to keep politics out of the DA's office.
Oh, your material ain't so good either.
Lox, Jake. Thin and lean.
Oh, thin.
Well, Irish, I heard you're taking the Forbes case. I promise you it'll be rough.
When are they ever easy?
Well, I'm going all out on this one. I'm asking for first-degree murder.
Are you that sure of your evidence?
Well, Nick Anderson and Dan Kirby were the arresting officers. They usually bring us more than we need. Irish, what do you think of Mrs. Forbes?
Lovely woman. Beautiful. But a little trouble, don't you think?
Well, there's some conjecture about her. She'll deny it, of course, but Nick and Dan both have the feeling that she saw the murder.
You expect to win a conviction on their feelings, Jerry?
I want to put her on the stand.
To testify against her husband?
No, he's kidding, of course. This guy's got a real sense of comedy.
Oh, I'm a scream sometimes. Even Jake likes my material.
Mitch, sit here and keep Mr. Miller company while he enjoys his thin locks. I've got a date with a client.
Of course I killed him. I confessed to it, didn't I?
Did you sign anything, Mr. Forbes?
No, but the police know all about it. Trella was blackmailing me, bleeding me dry. I had to kill him. Didn't Jeannie tell you that?
She told me you were selling company secrets to a competitor. Now, I'd like you to tell me why.
Why? Money, that's why. Isn't that why most people get into trouble?
Well, some do it for love.
In my world, they go together. Without money, I could never show Jeannie how much I love her. Without money, I can't help her. Give her the surgery she needs to get her out of that wheelchair.
I understand you had $12,000 in a safe deposit box.
I got that for being a spy, a thief, a traitor to the company that trusted me.
Well, $12,000, wasn't that enough?
I thought it was, till the letters started coming in. $250 every Friday, in a paper bag. Pretty soon there'd be nothing.
How did the blackmailer find out about your espionage work?
I don't know. I know nothing about the man.
You knew enough to murder him?
Sure. I saw him there at the beach every Friday, collecting his money.
You never saw him before that?
Never.
According to your wife, you and Lee Trella had met a few times along the beach.
Jeannie told you that? She's at that window too much. Her mind deals in dream images, Mr. Egan. Shuffles and then reshuffles them and sets them aside for a time, ever since the accident. You've met her. You know how she is. She can be as rational as anyone, but sometimes...
Look, Mr. Forbes, according to your wife, you had met Lee Trella. You say you hadn't. Now, you're going on trial for your life. I can't help you unless...
You don't have to help me at all, Mr. Egan. Remember me? I'm a spy, a thief, and a murderer. Why bother defending a guilty man?
One of the canons of the American Bar Association, Mr. Forbes. Let me give it to you in a nutshell.
I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
Well, nevertheless, you're going to listen. So you'll know where I stand. It's the right of the lawyer to undertake defense of persons accused of crime, regardless of his personal opinion as to the guilt of the accused. Otherwise, innocent people, victims only of suspicious circumstances, might be denied proper defense.
But I'm not innocent.
As far as the courts are concerned, you are innocent. It's up to the prosecution to change their minds, to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If there's any doubt at all, any question about the evidence or testimony against you, it's my job to see that you're acquitted.
You mean you're willing to free a guilty man?
I mean, as your attorney, Mr. Forbes, I'm interested only in protecting your legal rights. Your conscience is your own problem. Guard.
Now, this knife, Sergeant, has already been identified by the coroner and the lab technicians as the weapon that killed Lee Trella. Can you tell the court anything more about it?
Our sand sifters found it on the beach about 200 yards away from the murder site.
I see. And when was that?
The morning after the murder, about 6 a.m.
Now, Sergeant, did this knife in any way contribute to the defendant's arrest?
Yes, sir. The operator of one of the game booths said that Mr. Forbes had won a knife like that as a prize.
Objection. Hearsay.
Sustained.
Your Honor, I'd like the court's permission to continue direct examination of this witness later in the trial.
Permission granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you wish to cross-examine, Mr. Egan?
Yes, sir, I do. Sergeant Kirby, these plastic casts, were they the only ones made on the night of the murder?
No, sir, we had casts made of all the footprints around the murder site.
All the footprints? How many were there?
Well, I think our lab men made 10 or 11.
Well, then I assume they all matched up with my client's shoes.
No, sir, just the ones you're holding.
Well, then there were 9 or 10 other footprints left by persons other than Mr. Forbes.
That's right.
Why weren't they arrested?
They were never identified.
Sergeant Kirby, is the jury to assume that further investigation on your part might have produced another suspect?
Objection.
Suspect other than Robert Forbes?
Your Honor, the question is purely hypothetical. Calls for an opinion on the part of the witness.
I was under the impression Sergeant Kirby was introduced as an expert witness.
If the opinions of an expert witness are acceptable, Mr. Miller, objection overruled. However, I would like to caution you, Mr. Egan, against impugning the integrity and competence of this police officer.
I apologize to Sergeant Kirby and to the court, sir. That wasn't my intent at all. Sergeant, let's confine ourselves to these footprints for a moment. Would you, as a qualified police officer, consider them conclusive evidence that Mr. Forbes was present at the murder site?
I would.
And the others, the unidentified persons?
They were there, too.
When? At the time of the murder or shortly before?
Well, the exact time is a little difficult to determine.
Which means, Sergeant, it is entirely possible that any of these persons, including Mr. Forbes, may have left the area before the murder was committed. Is that correct?
Well, there was other evidence.
We're evaluating this evidence, Sergeant.
I know that, sir.
Does this evidence prove to you, Sergeant Kirby, that Mr. Forbes, and only Mr. Forbes, was present at the murder site at the time the murder was committed?
No, of course.
That's all, Sergeant. Thank you.
Yeah, this is one of the knife, all right. I give them away as prizes. That's the only way I can get rid of them. You see, I get them wholesale by the grocery.
When did you give this particular knife away? Do you recall?
Yeah, a couple of months ago.
And to whom did you give this knife?
This one?
Yes, Mr. Shaughnessy, that one. The knife that killed Lee Trella.
Well, I give it to him, the defendant.
Thank you, Mr. Shaughnessy. Your witness.
Mr. Shaughnessy, may I have that knife for a moment, please? Thank you. Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd like to mark the blade of this knife with an X.
As long as it doesn't alter the evidence.
Well, just a crayon mark, sir. It can be removed.
All right.
Thank you. Mr. Shaughnessy, how many of these knives have you given away in, say, the last 2 months?
Oh, between 15 and 20, I guess. You see,
how many did you give away last night?
Well, about 2 or 3.
Can you describe the people who won them?
Well, for the most part, they come in a crowd. You know, they don't stay at the booth very long.
I know, but were they short or tall or fat or thin or what?
Well, like I say, they come in bunches. You know, I was busy giving my pitch. 3 balls for a quarter.
Mr. Shaughnessy, you can't even describe the people who won the knives last night. You're not even sure of how many you gave away, yet you're positive that you gave this particular knife to that particular man over 2 months ago. Why is that, Mr. Shaughnessy?
Well, this here Mr. Forbes is kind of a regular customer. Him and his wife, they come by the booth a lot.
But how can you be sure that this is the knife that you gave to him?
There's a flaw in it. I was glad to get rid of
it. Will you step over here for a moment, Mr. Shaughnessy, please? Thank you, sir. Now, one of those knives is the one you say you gave to Mr. Forbes. Will you pick it out for me, please? We'll know if you choose the right one. I've marked it with an X.
That one.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're very sure?
Well, I guess so.
Will you pick it up and show it to the court, please?
It's the one with the X. Yeah, you see, it's got a split handle, just like I told you. I get those things wholesale, you know. I buy them by the box, and I just give them away when I'm down at the pitch.
That'll be all, Mr. Shaughnessy. Thank you. Hello, Bob.
What now, Counselor? Another big strategy meeting?
No, your wife's here. She'd like to see you.
Tell her to go home.
I understand you haven't seen her since you've been arrested.
That's to her advantage.
She doesn't think so. She loves you very much, Bob.
No, not anymore. How could she after this? How could I even look at her again?
Then let me look at you, Robert.
Jeannie, I'm sorry.
Hush, darling. I know.
You saw me do it, didn't you? You saw me kill that man.
I was at the window.
What else could I do, Jeannie? He was ruining us. I had to stop him before he took every penny we had, all our money.
Oh, no, Robert. Not our money.
What?
Your money. Not mine. I never wanted anything but you and a home and a...
Go on, say it. And what?
Remember the panda bear you won for me, Robert? And the Cupid doll? They're still in the crib. They look so pretty there. Almost as if they belonged.
How long are you going to keep on punishing me, Jeannie?
Punishing?
The roller coaster. Do you think I wanted you to fall?
It didn't happen. Not really.
Do you think I wanted you to lose the baby?
It was a nightmare. A dream. An ugly dream.
Do you think I wanted to live where we're living? I wanted a family too, Jeannie. But I wanted to be ready for our kids. Why do you think I worked so hard? Drove myself, saved our money.
But Cupid dolls are cheaper, aren't they, darling? And they're much easier to care for. And they never make any demands on your valuable time, do they, Robert? Robert.
Mrs. Forbes, I'm afraid that...
I had no right, Mr. Egan. I had no right to hurt him like that.
Sergeant Kirby, I ask you to identify these papers, please.
Photostats of the bank records showing when Mr. Forbes visited his safe deposit box.
Read the dates, please, Sergeant.
March 6th, March 13th, March 20th, March 27th, April 3rd, April 10th.
6 weekly visits, beginning March 6th and ending on the date of the murder. Now, Sergeant, will you kindly tell the court what you found when you examined the contents of the safe deposit box?
2 insurance policies, $12,000 in cash.
Eloise Burdett, 772 Mount Olive Street, Los Angeles. 1 block north of Sunset.
I see. And where are you employed, Miss Burdett?
I'm private secretary to Mr. Philip Page at Randolph Components.
And what is Mr. Page's position with the company?
He's president.
Indeed. And as secretary to the president of the company, did you have occasion to meet the defendant?
I guess so.
Yes or no, Miss Burdett, please?
Yes, we've met.
Under what circumstances?
Well, Mr. Page and, look, a private secretary is supposed to keep private things private.
Were your meetings with Mr. Forbes, private meetings?
You might call them that. But not what you think.
Under what circumstances did you meet the defendant?
I might lose my job for this.
Miss Burdett, the court is confident that your employer realizes that you're required to reply to the question.
Well, I only did it because Mr. Page insisted that I...
I'll repeat the question again, Miss Burdett.
I used to deliver money to Bob Forbes for Mr. Page.
Money, Miss Burdett?
Cash. A lot of cash in envelopes.
Then Mr. Forbes was on the payroll of Randolph Components.
No, he was on the A&S payroll.
Well, then, how was the money accounted for?
Well, I wasn't on the books, if that's what you mean. It came out of Mr. Page's personal account.
Miss Burdett, did you know why he was paying this money to Mr. Forbes?
Oh, I wasn't sure, but every time I delivered money to Bob, he gave me drawings and technical data for Mr. Page.
And where is Mr. Page now?
He's in Mexico City. He wanted to take me along, and I wish I'd gone.
Thank you, Miss Burdett. Your witness.
Miss Burdett, those deliveries you made to Mr. Forbes, did you ever discuss them with anyone?
Only Mr. Page.
Then, to your knowledge, only you, Mr. Page, and Mr. Forbes knew about them?
Just us. Oh, and Murray Becker, the company attorney.
Did Mr. Becker, Mr. Forbes, or Mr. Page ever mention the name Lee Trella in your presence?
I never heard the name Lee Trella before this trial.
Lee Trella. Trella. Never heard of him. And my client, Phil Page, never heard of him either.
Lee worked for me for a long time. He became particularly interested in the betas, Siamese fighting fish. Took over the responsibility of cleaning their tanks all by himself. He was a pretty good salesman, too. 1 week when we were pushing platies, he must have sold over 100.
Did he ever mention Robert Forbes?
Robert Forbes?
Yes.
Never heard of him.
No, I never heard the name before. Never heard it until after my husband was killed.
And your husband never mentioned the name Robert Forbes before?
No, not to me.
Mrs. Trella, you told the court under direct examination that your husband spent very few evenings at home after March 6th. Does that date have any special significance?
Just that it was the date before our wedding anniversary. Not that it mattered to Lee. We had a big fight about...
A fight?
Oh, I might as well tell it. It eats away at you all the time. You might as well tell somebody. That was the night that I killed him.
Would you mind explaining that statement to the court?
Now, how do you explain that? I killed him, that's plain and simple.
But how did you go about doing that, Mrs. Trella?
Objection. Your Honor, Mr. Egan is seeking to confuse the jury with this line of questioning.
Mr. Egan, Mrs. Trella is not on trial here, and any testimony she gives must be relevant. The court would give you every latitude in the examination of witnesses. However, the present course of interrogation is beyond the scope of proper procedure, and you are accordingly admonished.
Your Honor, what Mrs. Trella might have to say concerning the death of her husband could be very relevant to the defense. I request the court's indulgence in the further examination of this witness.
Very well, counsel. You may proceed.
Thank you, sir. Now, Mrs. Trella, will you tell us and explain, please, why you feel responsible for the death of your husband?
On the night before our wedding anniversary, he came home.
Your husband?
Yes, my husband. He came home, and he told me he found some money under a bench. Of course, I thought he was lying. I thought he got it some way, but he wasn't going to tell me. That's a pretty crazy thing, somebody leaving money under a bench.
How much money did he find?
$250. And he said he was going to turn it over to the police. I told him to keep it. Now, he didn't want to do that. He said the money didn't belong to him. He said it belonged to somebody else. And he said he was turning it over to the police. I hollered and screamed at him. Who's going to know? Keep it. I told him he was a rotten husband, and if he didn't keep it, that I would leave him. He kept it.
And what happened then, Mrs. Trella?
Every Friday after that, he found some more money. Same amount, same place. In a paper sack like leftover sandwiches. Ever hear of anything like that? It's like a genie leaving you money.
Go on, please.
That's all. I made him do it. It's my fault he's dead. And he's dead, that's all.
Thank you, Mrs. Trella.
She's telling the truth.
I'm sure she is.
He just happened to find the money and kept coming back for more. I killed the wrong man.
Bob, the prosecution wants your permission to put your wife in the stand. She's volunteered to testify against you. You have the legal right to refuse permission.
Why in heaven's name would she volunteer?
Maybe she wants you to be convicted.
No. Jeannie's my wife.
Now, remember what you told me, Bob. The accident, the wheelchair, losing the baby. Why does she keep that empty crib in your apartment?
Punishing me, I guess.
You're right. And now she sees a chance to finish the job.
I can't believe that. Even if she hates me,
Let her do it.
What?
Let her testify. I've got some questions I want to ask her myself.
Mrs. Forbes, will you kindly tell the court what you were doing at approximately 9 o'clock on the night of April the 10th? Shall I repeat the question?
No. I was in my apartment. Alone. I was sitting by the window, looking out at the beach. The lights. All the lovely things that I see every night. I have binoculars. It helps bring the world so much closer to me.
And were you using the binoculars?
Yes.
Mrs. Forbes, I ask you to tell the jury what you saw through the binoculars.
Across the mall from our apartment building, there is a bench. I saw a man go to that bench and sit down and pick up a paper bag. I saw another man my husband. He had a knife. I saw him stab the other man.
Now, Mrs. Forbes, I know this is very difficult for you, but I just have one more question. Can you identify the man in this photograph?
Lee Trella. The man my husband killed.
Thank you, Mrs. Forbes.
One moment, Mrs. Forbes. Cross-examination. Remember? Mrs. Forbes, on the night that Lee Trella was murdered, do you recall being questioned by police officers?
Yes.
Did they ask you if you had seen the crime?
Yes.
And, what did you tell them?
I told them I hadn't.
And today, under oath, you said you did.
Oh, I wasn't under oath when the police officers questioned me.
But you do admit giving them false information.
Yes.
Why?
To protect my husband.
Because you love him.
Yes. Because I love him.
Tell me, Mrs. Forbes, did you at any time ever have any idea that your husband was planning a murder?
He talked about it, yes.
When?
We talked about many things, Robert and I. His work, the money he makes.
The murder, Mrs. Forbes. When did you discuss murder?
When the blackmail letters came, naturally.
Oh? What happened to those letters?
They upset Robert terribly, poor dear.
Mrs. Forbes, were those letters destroyed?
I think so. Yes. We did destroy the letters, didn't we, Robert?
Mrs. Forbes, would you kindly address your statement?
Now, let me repeat the question, Mrs. Forbes. If you love this man as you claim, why have you deliberately set out to destroy him?
The view from my window is so lovely. I watch it every day, all day long. And at night, I watch the lights and the smiling faces and the people walking.
Everyone except Jean Forbes.
I'm a watcher, Mr. Egan. I just sit there and watch. The faces, smiling, and the people. What? Look what he did to me! Him, my husband. He did this to me.
And you waited all this time to get even.
Oh, no, Mr. Egan, I haven't been waiting at all.
It was you who wrote those blackmail letters. You, the anonymous blackmailer, isn't that so?
When you hate someone enough, Mr. Egan, there's nothing to it. He is going to die. Isn't he? He's a murderer, you know. And he's a robber, too. He robbed me of my baby before it was even born. You see, he had no patience with anything that interfered with his money gains.
That'll be all, Mrs. Forbes.
Promise me something. Please. Promise me Robert is going to die. Was Robert convicted?
Yes, he was convicted.
Is he going to die?
No, he's not going to die. Because of your testimony, the charges were reduced. He's going to prison.
Isn't it lovely? So beautiful. Robert used to take me for walks on evenings like this. It's a shame to waste it. to be alone on an evening like this. Won't you take me for a walk, Mr. Egan? Mr. Egan?